And hi, welcome to The Journey. I'm your host, Mr. Harris. Here we discuss life's journey and the happenings that surround us along the way, some of the real cool people we meet as well. First, I'd like to share with you how I got to this point in my life on my journey. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Mr. Harris Show. 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 It's called The Journey. We're back. On any show, the first guest is probably the most important. People search high and low to find the best guests possible to launch their show. And we did just that here on The Journey. I'm so excited to introduce to you my first guest. He is a mentor, teacher, extremely talented, and one of my best friends. Let's give it up for me. Ladies and gentlemen, Bvin Harris. Happy to be here. Bvin, welcome to The Journey. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Yes, you pronounced my name correctly. I noticed you have two different spellings for your name. Please explain that. No quick story on that, right?
Okay.
Angie Martinez, we all know her from Hot 97, was hosting a concert. I was opening up for Busta Rhymes and some other artists. And this big opening she gave, got a live band, doing my thing, and she says, "Let's give it up for Bvin Harris." And I was like, oh, man, that's not how you pronounce my name. And so from that point on, as an artist, I always took the E off of my name, so it's Bervin. But my government name is Bervine. I also want to discuss and get the pink elephant out of the room. People often say we look alike. Really? I don't really see the resemblance. I think your nose look a little broken to me. Your nose is a little twisted. You break your nose? Anyway, let's move forward. I invited you because I feel as though you have a lot to offer to the show. So can we move along with the show, please? Okay. All right. Thank you. Can you take a few minutes and share your childhood with the audience? Sure. I'll answer up to graduating college. How's that? So people don't realize that, I grew up with 8 brothers and sisters.
Wow.
The second to the youngest. The first one to graduate high school. So brothers and sisters before me would pray to just things on the streets in the community, like whether it was, drinking, drugs, and running the streets. And I'm not saying that I was into none of that, but I still had some kind of I got a glimpse of my shall be. I really wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a performing artist, and I also wanted to, be an athlete. So, and I was probably the most talented in my family in doing those types of things, and so that was my driving force. It kind of kept me, out of the street. So that's the part that people didn't know. So I played football, baseball, basketball. Ran track, wrestled, the only black guy on the floor hockey team. So, I did a lot of all that kind of good stuff. So I had a nice, wholesome upbringing. Was brought up with my mom and my dad were there. My mom was pretty much an aggressive disciplinarian, do things because I said to do them. My dad was the real laid-back kind of guy. He was the provider for the house, but didn't say much, so... the relationship was a little weird at times with my mom, so we didn't go to her about things that were happening in your life because, it's going to be this aggressive behavior, and Dad didn't talk much. So I really relied on coaches, good friends, other extended family members to kind of help coach us through life, and my older brothers and sisters, so they taught us everything about the streets. So that was part of that. And then, let's fast forward, right? So... went to college for music, went on to become an admissions counselor, college professor. I signed my first record deal with Orpheus Records, which was distributed by Capitol Records, and then I became an independent songwriter, an independent producer, and then I stayed in the record industry for a little while, started my own record company, Twin Records, put some things out. So yeah, just a lot of that kind of stuff before finding my way around RYC.
I see.
Then you started RYC, right? No, I didn't start it then. I actually went from the music. Then I got really, really fast in track, and I guess I was running around just trying to figure out what I wanted to do in my life. And so I started running MTA meets, PAL meets. People don't realize that PAL meets can get you certified for the Olympics. I didn't even know that. Right. So I was called for the Olympic trials. Went out to UCLA, Los Angeles, California. I was there for all of about 3 to 4 days, walking in a gas station. Went to go pay the bill and just fell on the ground. My knees gave way, and realized that I had to have a series of knee surgeries at that time. So they put me on a plane quick fast, came back to New York, had the surgery, and then I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. You know, I was okay financially, was married, had children. And it was like, hey, all right, do I want to stay in sports? Do I want to go back to the music industry? And I kind of tethered around and started working with other organizations. And I learned a lot, you know. Matter of fact, I always tell people the story of my introduction to the Bronx. I had a Saab 900 at the time, and it was nice.
Nice car.
And I drove out here for my job interview and came back. And my front windows were gone, my stereo system was gone, and everything else I had in the car. So that was my welcome to the Bronx. But it was something about this place I fell in love with. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the shall be of the community, of what it could be, what it could become. And so I started working here as a track coach and took some young people to Penn State. To the Nationals, so I was pretty heavy in that. And then I started coaching basketball as well, did the same thing, got on the AAU circuit. And I use this terminology called hook 'em and cook 'em. You know, I want to hook you with the sports. Yeah, you're running to the gym and you're running to the field because you want to run and you want to play, you want to compete and travel. But I really wanted to give you academic enhancement and social development. So we call it hook 'em and cook 'em. We hooked them with the sports, but we cooked them with social development and academic enhancement. And I kind of kept that philosophy and that practice and that mantra going on for a number of years and became really good at teen services and working with other organizations. And then one day, I don't know, I'm working with Department in Youth Community Development, running what they call a model beacon program. So they tell the whole world about what you do, and you're traveling to Puerto Rico and Texas and other places. Right. And I don't know, I just felt like I should be doing more. I felt like the community deserved more. And I started feeling like quality is missing from our services. And if we all take a pause for a second, I think a lot of us feel that way. You know, if you look at the services that your young people are receiving right now in school, you're probably saying, hey, this is the best gym teacher we can get? Is this the best music teacher we can get? Why are we teaching science classes with no hands-on experience? Why there's not even a fish tank in the science room? Why you don't even have a plant in the room, but yet you teach agriculture, right? Wow. And so I started feeling that way. And so I kind of walked away from everything. And I wanted to do something more, but I didn't know what that more was at the time. Then you started RYC. Yes. You know what? That is the time where I started thinking about Renaissance. But you know what? I don't want to talk about that on this episode, on this show. I think that's probably another show. You had to say that. You just couldn't let me give that line. But if I could, I know this is your show. Your show is called The Journey. And what life is really about, it takes you on all these twists and turns, these ebbs and flows, right? Until some of us get to our destination, and some of us never do, and most of us never get there. And I like the idea of not getting there. You know, so, you know, what I want to leave, you know, the guests with, or those who are tuning in today, is embrace the journey. Embrace the fact that some days are great days and some days aren't. And the days that aren't, you're supposed to learn from those days, right? It's full of ups and downs, sadness and happiness, right? But you have to embrace that, and it's preparing you for something greater. And here's the other thing to think about when we talk about journey, right? So along our journey, we meet different people, and people deposit into us. They say, hey, this is what you're trying to do. Well, you might want to consider this. Here's where you're trying to go. Well, here's the way to get there. But also, you're supposed to do the same thing for the other person. So as you continue on your life's journey, you're also supposed to be the one to say, you know what, I went through this already. Don't go that way. Because that way is dead end street. Don't go this way because you're not going to get to where you want to be. And if you think about it, just imagine a world where everyone was on life's journey and we embraced the journey. But we're helping each other as we go. Man, this would be an amazing place. No one will be hungry.
That's right.
No one will be ignorant.
That's right.
No one would be lost, right? This would be a very, very happy place. So if there's nothing else we can, or suggest to this show, I would like to suggest on your show, because this is your show, is that as we listen to this, start thinking about the things that you have done and you have achieved, the people that you interact with, the people that you're going to pass throughout the day on your own life's journey, and how can you have more of an impact? How can you make more of a difference in your day-to-day, right? I think that would be the most amazing thing. If you got nothing else out of my being here today, if we can walk away with that, I think that would be pretty amazing. You know what? Next time we should switch seats. You really wanted to be the host, didn't you? No, I would not want to switch seats with you. I think you're doing a fantastic, amazing job. Let's give it up to Mr. Harris, The Journey, this show, which is absolutely an amazing format. And thank you for allowing me to be here and be your first guest. I appreciate that very, very much. Well, thanks for tuning in. In parting, always make sure you love yourself. And whatever love you have left over, make sure you share with others. All right? Thank you for tuning in.
Stuff.
And thank you for being here as a guest today.
Happy to be here.
I do see the resemblance. I do think we look.
Now
I see it.
Now you see it, huh?
I see it. You see it? I see it.
Welcome to the Mr. Harris Show. 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 It's called The Journey.